So here's my favorite putter, and I'm going to cover the shaft with this. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I have my Lab Golf Link putter here, and it's got a BGT stability shaft, Tour Black, just a plain black shaft, and doesn't bother me at all. But I thought, why not make it bother me or bother the other people? So I just got this from shaftwraps.com. Shaft Wraps, the only place that wraps your shafts, and they have these long vinyl decals, and they are specifically made to cover golf shafts. So you can put them on, like, say, a driver shaft or a putter shaft. They're pretty wide, a little excess there, but wider at the top, skinnier at the bottom because most shafts taper. But what you can see here is this one is pretty cool. It's got like a topographical relief design, black and white, but more importantly, they have printed my logo on there, so I've got little tiny pandas all the way down there. So nobody's gonna want this particular raft except for me, and so I thought I would show you how to put it on this shaft, which is actually probably one of the hardest ones because this is the carbon fiber piece up here, but then it has a little step down collar right there, and then a thinner tapering piece of steel down there where it meets the head. So let's get this shaft wrapped with this. Alright, so here's my favorite putter, and no reason to leave it naked. And as I was saying here, the problem here with wrapping this is that we have two distinct pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the smaller tapered portion here to wrap this portion. I'm going to leave this collar uncovered, unwrapped, and then I'm going to wrap it from here up to the pure grip up here. So the first thing I'm going to do is just, again, show you the wrap itself. Little logo on there, you've got your patent and stuff, but all of this peels out. So it's kind of like a vinyl sticker that would go on your laptop. I really love them. I put them on my drivers. You know, the driver shafts tend to be kind of gaudy these days, especially the Autoflex one, and I love the shaft, but I don't love the color. So I have used these in the past to cover that up. But I just want to show you what I'm going to do here. You know, just kind of walk you through it. If this were just a single flat tapered shaft, you would just kind of trim it to what you need and then put it on the front and then kind of roll the edges back. But first of all, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to eyeball this a little bit. So I want to give myself just a smidge extra. I can trim it up with a blade, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that here, just right across there like this. Now what I will do is I will take this piece here, just like this, and I want to center the front of the shaft so I don't see the seam right in the middle of this decal here. So the nice thing is that this club will kind of sit up on its end like this, and I'm going to kind of put this right up against the collar, just kind of make sure everything is centered as much as humanly possible. Then I'm going to run my finger down here, and then I'm going to kind of push it right up to the hosel. And now what I do is I kind of have put it a little off edge. Now I have kind of uncentered this just a little bit. It might be hard to see, but this side looks just a smidge longer, like a millimeter or two, than this side. So I'm going to use that side to overlap. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to run my finger back and forth here on the shorter side, going all the way up to the hosel. It's kind of forgiving stuff, actually. And just kind of smooth this all the way around here. Might just trim that there, take a little pressure off of it. Okay. And then, like I said, you can use a blade or something to trim that up. But just making sure that there are no air bubbles or anything like that. Right? And I'm going to go all the way to the back. You can see it overlaps a little bit up at the top because it's tapered. All right. I'm going to trim right up here. So get that nice and smooth and all the way flush with the shaft itself. And now I'm going to go back to this side, and actually I know I can trim a little bit here, just make it a little more precise, and do the same thing but working it down this side till we get all the way to the back, and it'll overlap with the existing piece back here, and now it's nice and smooth. And I can just do a little detail work up here, just make sure I don't have any seams showing. So pretty nice. Like I said, I'm gonna use the scissors to cut this out. Okay, and the shaft is wrapped down here, got my logos, and now basically I'm just gonna do the same thing, but now all I'm going to do is just kind of measure this out from the top of the collar right there to the bottom of my grip. So just going to trim this. So normally you'd only do this in one step, but because we've got two pieces here. Got no choice but to do it in two pieces. And if you do get a little bit of wrinklage or something like that, what I've noticed is that it seems to take to a hairdryer nicely, so you can kind of forgive some sins that way too. So again, just gonna put that there, run my finger down the middle here, and peel off the backing as I go. All right, there we go. And in this case, it looks like this side is a little bit longer, so I'm going to start on this side, and again, just run my finger all the way down here, and I'm just going to trim this right up where I've got my grip a little bit, just so that I have a little less excess hanging off there. Kind of notice that just helps. You know, if you can get it really close, a little excess doesn't hurt because you might trim it up with a blade afterwards, but not having enough might show the shaft through there. But because I'm using a black wrap on a black shaft, even if I have a little bit of naked shaft showing through there, it's probably not going to be a problem. But what I really love about these shaft wraps is that, you know, you invest this time, it's not that long, you're seeing it in real time, to go on here. They can add a little bit of pizzazz style. You can get them in your favorite team colors. Now I'll just do this other side here. College teams, professional teams, and like I said, because they print these, if you have a company, you want your logo on there, right? Your business, something like that, you just reach out to them and they can do it, and they'll produce them. So, you know, it can be an awesome giveaway for holiday parties, incentives, especially if you have a bunch of people in your company or your organization that like playing golf. And that is that. So that was actually really good cut on my part down by the grip here. And so now I have the shaft all the way down here to this little ferrule, kind of this adapter right there. And that is just matte black, but then it goes down here all the way to the head. So now I have my own custom shaft wrapped, again, thanks to the good people at Shaft Wraps. So if you want to go ahead and stylize your, in this case, putter, wedge, driver, it doesn't matter. I think you're going to love it. I will put a link to Shaft Wraps in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore so much deeper.